The phone call's just come in.
Oh, who is it?
Is it Wiggle Scott?
Oh, gadget! It's wiggin', 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 it's wiggin', wiggin', wiggin',
It's Wiggly, and I'm back once again for another Fallout 4 settlement build tour. And today I'm at County Crossing, where I had a bit of a conflict with myself over what exactly I was going to build. I'd previously seen a video, of which I will leave the description, or I'll leave the link to it in the video description. And it's kind of what inspired me, but it's nothing like this build. But it had a lot of glass in the build, and I wanted to build something with a lot of glass. And a couple of things about that is I built this building entirely out of glass. And when I got upstairs, I realised that as good as it looked from down here, I'd built a wall all around the camp to keep ourselves protected. And then I had a building right at the top which was made entirely out of glass, which anyone who was in there would obviously become a target for any passing raiders sniping through that glass, because I doubt very much it is bulletproof greenhouse glass. So yeah, as far as the conflict goes, I built my museum. I wasn't happy with it being out of glass, and the other thing was I kind of forgot that I built a museum, and I went down there and I built a prison on the other side of the camp. And then, happy as Larry, there I was, smoking away, building away, and I suddenly had a thought, oh hang on, I built a museum there and I got a prison here. What have I done? So basically I decided to change this into my kind of offices, security offices, if you will, for my prison that I've built at the other end, which I will show you soon. So I've got this old house, which is a restaurant for the staff of the prison. So we got this old house, we got the courthouse, we got the workhouse, we got the doghouse, we got the outhouse, and we got hordes of prisoners over there. Keep this door shut for security. So let's take you inside this old house, the cafeteria and bar for the staff here in the settlement. We've got the chick there working on the bike. I guess she was just visiting a prisoner. She's having a bit of bike troubles, so she stopped outside this old house to do a bit of repairs. We got the head judge here, because we got the courthouse upstairs. This is the head judge. He's obviously not taking any cases at the moment, so he's just chilling out here reading his newspaper. Now, his apartment is over here. Let's show you that apartment. This is like the entrance way to his apartment. And if I open this door, obviously he's the head judge. He's got a load of books. He's got his little comfy sofa. Bit of stuff going on the coffee table. He's got some storage space up there. TV. Pictures. You know, you can see for yourself. And plenty of files regarding any court cases that he might have dealt with. Also, he has his very own private little brand new washer, dryer, and somewhere to fold his judgy clothes. And also, if there are any prisoners pending trial, they would be kept separately in here, and the judge can check out, see if they're alright, see if they're causing any trouble, hanging themselves with their shoelaces in the cell. So yeah, let's run outside, shut that door. I like to keep the door shut, even when I'm filming a video. I just have to keep the door shut behind myself. You may notice that as we go along. Use the door to push myself out. Right, so let's go in this old house. Called which because it is the site of the old house that was here that you could not delete unless you use a mod called Scrap That Settlement, which unfortunately for me, I don't know if it's something to do with load order or if it conflicts with another mod that I've got, but unfortunately it causes my game to crash. However, I tried to get these concrete blocks through here. I couldn't do it with the house there, so I'm going to show you now exactly how I came to actually. So this is what I first did with it, and you can bury it in this sort of way, where you sort of just build over the top of it, but it doesn't leave it in a way where you can really use it. It really wasn't that useful. So I took it all down, and then I tried this, and obviously this was horrible. See down there, and that's, I think, where I initially had the prison idea. Right, so I can't use Scrap That Settlement because it crashes my game, but I can use it temporarily as long as I stay within a settlement. So what I did to cover up this house, for instance, if you get some sort of floor block like this, you could sort of line up as straight as you can. You could spend more time on it at home, but yeah, you get it roughly straight like that, or you get it very straight, as straight as you can, and you clip all these into it, and then you get it round there. You got to line it all up, and you get that to go up there. So obviously that's got to come nice and straight up there. You go up there, round there, and then basically just to the end of the house, so you can see exactly how big it is. Then quit out, and then go into your mod section, where you should have already downloaded Scrap That Settlement. Turn it on, and then obviously go back in the game. We've enabled Scrap That Settlement. We've laid our template out. It's going to switch it into build mode. And notice now we are able to scrap that settlement. So you scrap that like that. Get rid of any debris laying around. Now if I was to try and go anywhere at this moment, it would crash the game for me. But then of course once you've done that, you can go find your floor of your choice. Pave it out like so. And now I've come up against this workstation problem, obviously. And so I can't remember what mod it is that installed these options. I'll have to find out and put it on the, at the bottom of the screen there. So you press that, position, move it up, go back and set the size, step size to 10, move it up, hit a nudge. Get right up in the air, get it out of the way, put it back into build mode. There you go, like that. And then obviously you can mess around with the height and what have you. But once you're done, then once clip in, see, you can turn that like that, put that there, and it clips in like that, and you use place anywhere now to place that, and then obviously you can lift that up to that height and it will still be in line with whatever you put. Go around, lift them all up, so you can play with a height like that. But I'm going to put them back down because they're being fiddly. We want to get on with it. So then, yeah, quit out of your game. Obviously, save it first. And back into mod section, and then disable it again, like that. And then obviously jump back into your game. Right, then once we're back in the game, bear in mind, do clean up first and make sure you clear all the debris from everywhere, because you may be able to hear there's a gun rattling about somewhere because we've probably buried a dead body or something like that. But hey presto, there's your floor. You can obviously choose whichever materials you want and play with the height and tidy it up and what have you as you go. But yeah, basically that's how you do it. Okay, so I want to show you something now. Obviously these are all the chairs for all the staff to sit. I wanted to show you the toilet, which is the only bog in the whole of Fallout in my builds that actually has a bathroom mirror. A bathroom mirror which may tell you a little bit about yourself, a little something that perhaps you didn't realise. So here's my little bathroom, or otherwise known as Le Bog. And here is my bathroom mirror, as you can see. Got a mirror in there, you can see the sink and the toilet and the curtain in the reflection there. There's the plant pot and the chest of drawers and the little cappy and all that mirror image you can see behind us. However, notice you cannot see yourself in the mirror. And then let's go for a wander around the settlement and see where it is the settlers are living. We've got plenty of lockers here for the settlers and 2 very basic bedrooms. I did these at the end and I was running out of build limit. The computer was having trouble keeping up, but yeah, basic bed in there. Same goes in there. Very basic stuff. And yeah, an slightly older washer dryer than the judge gets, and it has to be shared amongst the settlers. It's one of the perks of being a judge. Now, these 2 guys here that work behind the counter in this old house, I like to move the settlers away when I'm building. I like to move everyone away and bring them all back later. However, these 2 were the only 2 settlers that refused to leave. They wanted to be together. And so I thought, well, if you love each other that much, then I shall build you a bedroom. Ha! Gay! So let's show you that bedroom.
I hope you realize how much you did for us.
I do realise every day. Each controller I wear out, I realise how much. Okay, so this is the lad's bedroom. I got some odds and sods, some cleaning and bits and pieces, some pin-up lads, and some nice curtains, which I usually put the conduit pipe up there for a rail, but it didn't really show very well. I did it in the courtroom. I'll show you what I mean. So up here, that's the courtroom in there, which I'll show you momentarily. And some of my electrical workmanship on show there, going up through the wall. As you can see, it's all solid now. It was all glass. I had to go around and change that a little bit after I initially built it. And here's access to the cell, which obviously we saw that from the other side earlier. It's a holding cell for anyone pending a court case, and should they be pending a court case and it's time for their trial, they'll be brought up these stairs, and then we'll go round into the courtroom here, which I basically googled the word courtroom and then worked off of that. And there was a gallery in the photo, but I didn't actually have the room to fit it in. So we've got the old person who writes out the thing. What are they called there? And they write out the old Ujama flip. Is this? Yeah. Options, position, move up, nudge, 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 nudge. Exit. That's better, isn't it? It's floating a bit. We'll sort that out later. Right, so yeah, then we've got the witness stand. Then we've got like prosecution and defence, whichever way around it goes, I forget. And then we've got the jury here. We've got the security here. And there's my little judges panel. Judges panel, what's this? X Factor. So here we have my little tack hammer. I don't know if you guys can hear that. My phone's ringing. So we're back after being rudely interrupted. Where was we? Yeah, so there's my little judge's hammer. It's the only hammer I could find at the time. I bet there's a better hammer for the judge, really, isn't there, somewhere in this game? But onwards and upwards. Yeah, upwards. So, should you, you know, depending on the severity of your crimes, you will either be sentenced to time in prison, which is over there, or you might just get a light sentence, a couple of weeks in the workhouse, which is what I ended up turning the upper floors into. And I've made them a bit more, look at that, there we go, some spotlights on. And, yeah, plenty of storage, somewhere to sit for the workers. They got a little balcony out there. And we've got some beds up here, again, very basic, all to do with the build limit. And I've wedged some sleeping bags under there to keep the bed count up for the prisoners, although the prisoners do not use the beds. Let's go downstairs. You can see we've got a little factory here. Basically, this makes the food and drink that's sold downstairs, and this is obviously someone who's been a bit naughty.
Can't you do something to help?
Look, she's charged with moaning all the time, so that's why she's been sentenced to a short spell in the workhouse. So yeah, let's go across here, and you can also gain access to the workhouse up there, so that you don't have to walk through the courtroom. Obviously, we came up those stairs, so let's wander around the security wall. Got some spotlights there, keeping an eye on the food. Now, nobody's actually working on the food because, as I envisioned it, you can see that the enclosure for the prisoners goes along this wall here. So they can't gain access to the other side of the camp. Now, in my head, what they were going to do is during the day they would work on the food, and at night they would have to spend the time in their cells. However, here's a little freezage you get as you walk up to here. However, obviously you can't assign them unless there's a mod to do so. You can't assign them to 2 jobs at once, so unfortunately they have to stay there, and the food doesn't actually get used. So I've found other ways to bring food to the settlement. Nothing down there. Let's run up these stairs just to give you a view of the settlement from up here. Yes. There's another guard up here. I've got guards everywhere, as you can see. The plan was to have the Deathclaw wandering around within this enclosure, but of course, as soon as I opened the door, not only did he just glitch through that wall there, but decided to go straight into this old house and plod around and get in the way and just be a general. So he's back in his cage, and we just use this place as like a Deathclaw farm now because it attracts other Deathclaws to attack us, and so therefore I can just go out there, take care of them, and then I've got loads of Deathclaw meat. So we can run across the flip here and go down the stairs on this side. Trying not to make you dizzy. In here we've got somebody in solitary confinement. He's got a little hockey mask on, but you probably can't see it too well. I would say it's a bit of a Silence of the Lambs gimmick going on. So, and then round here we've got the pool that I mentioned earlier, which I was jumping into. I did try to put fish in here. There's a fish animation that comes with one of the mods, but unfortunately they swim in too big of a circle and they kept coming outside of the tank. So I'm going to have to build something a bit bigger if I want to use that. And then this is just the access to the place. Now, to the controls there. Now, it does look quite cool at night. I'm going to do some nighttime shots in a bit. Mind you, it looks like it may well get to nighttime before I finish this thing. But if not, then I'll do some nighttime shots at the end of the video. So here's my prisoners. This one's not been here very long. Charged with jaywalking in front of a Brahmin. Terrible crimes.
Don't much care for good neighbor.
This one's been charged with not much caring for good neighbour.
Yes?
This one's been charged for having dirty fingernails, even though I've provided him with... Now, who's... She's a security guard. She's not supposed to be in there. Then we've got... Oh,
The Minutemen would stand by us.
old matey in there. I'm not sure what he's done. But he's in there anyway. And yeah, so let's run along. We got the Brahmin. There we've got a little ramp to the thing, and this little security pod I've got here to stop the prisoners getting out. So once I get into there, and they would obviously have to get clearance for this door to open here. And I've got my little security guard up there on the roof. And if you're wondering how she got up there, I built her a little ladder out of conduits. Conduit pipes. Here's the outhouse that I mentioned earlier. Not such a nice libog. Bit better libog. Silver libog. And golden libog!
That's all there is to it, Dustin. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. And so, yeah, let's take aim up there and sort this weather out. I've always got these in my settlements. Can I see it? Ooh, can I? Can I, Ella's like? Who stood behind me? Get out of the way. Let's sort that out. Bad to the bone. I'm stuck. Right, so I got myself out of that little pickle and shed some light on the subject. And if we pop through this door, you can see the showers that I've built. Obviously, you can come in here and have a little shower. You got your lockers. You got your chairs there, so you can sit down and change your socks. No excuse to have dirty fingernails, really, is there? And then, obviously, I've got some water purifiers over there. Keep them happy. I've got this here, which is the auto butcher. You've got to have one of those in every settlement. I stick the death claws through there after blowing them up with a grenade. And, yeah, welcome to the Dog Pound. Yeah, this is Dog Meat's very own little house. This rug here is the dog rug. Comes as part of actually comes as a mod all on its own. Just enables you to have Dog Meat sitting indoors without having to have a dog house indoors. He's got his own little fireplace to sit in front of. He's got a bowl and he's got a toilet just in case he wishes to drink water out of the bog. Got his very own little fridge, and he's got a toy on a chair here. So that is my tour of County Crossing. I'm going to sit down with a bit of music and a few nighttime shots of this settlement. And remember, touch my buttons if I've touched yours, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I'm seeing